What are you doing?
I'm jogging. I need to keep in shape for ConBravo. Man, is that exhausting.
Jogging? Hey, I have a Flintstones jogging special that I need somebody to review with.
Do you have a Hanna-Barbera special for everything?
I do not have to answer that. Now, are we doing this or not? Your intro's too long.
Aww, but I like my intro. It's animated. You're a meanie.
We open on Bedrock early in the morning as everyone in town is out jogging.
We focus on Barney and his jogging regiment as he meets Frankenstone in his obligatory cameo in this special.
Strange. Usually when someone says that, there's an obligatory cameo.
We don't have the budget for cameos. Have you seen the production values on my show?
Cut to the Flintstone household as Barney jogs by their home.
Jog, jog, jiggity jog, 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 jiggity jog.
Get used to that phrase, people. You're going to be hearing it a lot in this special.
Jog, jog, jiggity jog. Jog, jog, jiggity jog.
Fred thinks the idea that Barney is getting in shape is stupid. In case you need a reminder, Fred Flintstone is an idiot.
He's also very easily offended, as he's insulted that Wilma implies it would do him good as well to do some jogging. And he decides he's going to take this out on Barney, who has thus far done nothing wrong.
Yeah, well, I bet you can't do this, smart guy.
So yeah, Fred is a jerk and is fighting with his best friend for literally no reason.
You know, if Fred wants to get in shape, maybe he can start by taking delicious Fred Flintstone vitamins.
They're yabba dabba delicious. Later that day, Fred arrives at work to find all his coworkers have started jogging. Fred, of course, still doesn't see what the big deal is.
Anybody who jogs has blisters on the brain. What?
This is your friendly reminder that Fred is an idiot.
This is very true.
Coincidentally, today's the regular fitness checkups for the quarry. Almost everyone passes.
You can probably guess who failed at this point.
And of course, the rest of the quarry takes the opportunity to rub it in. Oh dear God, what is up with their faces?
Dear God, they all look like they're about to kidnap a puppy and tie it to the railroad tracks.
Is everyone at Mr. Slate's work just constantly thinking sinister thoughts about Fred? You don't have to be this evil, people.
Hey, sometimes it's fun to be evil. I mean, have you ever broke into a maniacal laugh out of nowhere before? It's quite, how you say, invigorating. That was fun.
Why am I considered the insane one again?
I have no idea. After being insulted by everyone at work, Fred then decides to enter the upcoming Roxton Marathon and prove how in shape he is by winning it. Get your popcorn ready, everyone. This is going to be good.
We start training at sunrise tomorrow. Now, don't be late. Here I am, Fred. Bright and early, just like you said.
Wake up, Fred. Barney's here.
Training is off to a great start, I see. Thankfully, Barney starts Fred jogging. Though he probably should have woken him up first.
Apparently, sleep jogging is the new craze in town. It's not just Fred. That woman who passes by is jogging with her eyes completely closed.
Well, that was the first morning of training. How do you feel, Fred?
I'm calling it quits. You can't quit, Fred. Give me one good reason why not. Because I already mailed in your entry.
Wow, Barney. You enrolled Fred without even telling him? Aren't you supposed to be the nice one? And how do you do that so quickly? This is supposed to be a prehistoric version of the 80s. Emails aren't common yet.
Still, Fred entering the Roxton Marathon makes him a local celebrity, since he's the first person from Bedrock to compete. Fred, being the egotistical man that he is, decides that being famous is worth competing in a marathon that he's not fit to run in.
Hey, it got him praise from Mr. Slate. Considering how close Fred usually is to being fired, he'll take any excuse to keep his job. Complete with Rocky parody!
Oh, come on, Fred. Are you really that tired after climbing up just one flight of stairs? It's not that difficult.
He's probably just not used to climbing up stairs. I mean, his house appears to only have one floor.
Fast forward to the day before the marathon, as the Flintstones and Rubbles are flying into Roxton.
Too bad Fred has to eat and run.
Go get him, Flintstone! Tear him up, champ!
Wait a second. Did Mr. Slate and all his coworkers come along for the trip? Who's running the quarry right now? Did he just close it and everyone gets a free vacation? You know, Mr. Slate might not be the brightest businessman after all.
Fred arrives exhausted to the hotel, and decides right then and there that he's not going to run in the marathon because it's just too tiring. Meaning Fred has just taken a trip, presumably on his company's pay, and is now going to skip the whole thing.
Wow, what a role model. Though Wilma at least convinces him to sleep on it before really quitting.
Pebbles!
Hi, Daddy. Have a nice rest?
What the hell did I just watch? Pebbles just talks. Pebbles just talks. Is this real life? No, really, what the hell is even the point of this? This is how Fred is convinced to run in the marathon? They could have had Wilma talk Fred into it, or just not have him be this tired in the first place. They even use Wilma's voice actor in this scene, which is incredibly jarring, coming out of Pebble's mouth. It's just wrong on so many levels. And then Fred questions why she's talking, and not why she can turn into a glowing mage orb. I just need a minute, okay? This is too much. Just too much.
There. Everyone has their first bizarre questioning everything moment when they're watching Hanna-Barbera specials.
So yeah, Fred's back in the marathon, and the race begins as Fred proves right from the start that he is not ready to run. He gets exhausted from the first hill, runs off course multiple times, and by the time all the other racers have crossed the finish line, he's still 10 miles behind.
He's still a winner in my book. I mean, walking is hard work after all. I know I can reach you, it's... why is that so far away?
You know, maybe taking you from your exercising regimen was not a good idea.
Finally, hours after everyone else has finished, Fred manages to cross the finish line for the marathon.
To his surprise, all his friends and family had stayed there waiting for him to complete the race, and applaud him for not giving up.
And the special ends with everyone celebrating Fred's achievement.
So that was Jogging Fever with the Flintstones, and I have to say, that was certainly something. In preparation for this review, I watched the other 3 specials in this set, and honestly, this is the worst of the bunch. Fred is a complete dick to everyone, most of who do nothing to deserve it. The plot itself is rather boring and bizarre, with everyone just randomly getting into jogging for no reason, and the Pebbles dream sequence nearly broke me. In short, it was tough to sit through.
I wouldn't say this one's the worst of the 4, I'd still give that to Wind Up Wilma. At least this one has a better ending with a never give up message, and I did find a couple of jokes funny. Not saying it's a great special, because it isn't. Fred's still a jerk, there are some weird animation moments, and considering how much the Frankenstones are promoted, including being in the title sequence, only one appears in just for about 15 seconds. But hey, points where I can give them.
Alright, even with the problems I mentioned, it is at least worth one watch. Now, can I please get back to my jogging regiment?
Sure, go ahead.
Good. Jog, jiggity, jog, jiggity, jog, jog, jog.